LeBron James has finally made his decision, and we know exactly why he made it. He's chasing a championship with the Philadelphia 76ers. He's actually giving up real money to join the most talent-loaded roster available to him. He could have gone home to Cleveland for the storybook ending everyone expected, or teamed up with Steph Curry in Golden State and become part of the most watched team in recent memory. But with Philadelphia already making major moves this offseason, bringing in Jaylen Brown and, as it turns out, LeBron himself, it's clear the talent is there for a real championship push. LeBron's final chapter could bring him a ring almost immediately, but it raises a massive question. Will he actually be willing to step back and sacrifice his usual role for the good of the team? That question followed him throughout his time with the Lakers, where he never seemed fully at ease deferring to Luka Doncic. He could have re-signed with Los Angeles at the same salary, but after a season where the front office clearly stopped valuing his input the way they once did, that relationship had already fractured. So now, with the Sixers, we have real talent, but also a roster with three extremely high-usage players already in place. Tyrese Maxey, Jaylen Brown, and Joel Embiid all averaged over 26 points a game last season, and if Embiid had played enough games to qualify for the leaderboard, all three would have ranked in the NBA's top 16 in usage percentage. There's only one basketball to go around in Philadelphia, and it looks like LeBron is choosing to embrace more of a playmaking and defensive role, setting his ego aside in pursuit of a championship. On paper, that actually makes him a near-perfect fit for this roster, especially considering what we saw from him in the 2026 playoffs. Even though he's no longer a top 5 player in the league, he clearly showed he can still turn back the clock when needed. Heading into the first round against Houston, the Lakers were without Luka entirely, and Austin Reeves only played in 2 games. Yet LeBron went out and stunned everyone, averaging over 23 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds a game, as Los Angeles easily dispatched a younger Rockets team. While Kevin Durant watched from the sidelines, a 41-year-old LeBron scored 28 or more points 3 separate times, delivering a masterclass as the Lakers blew out Houston in a lopsided Game 6. That performance proved he can still be a star capable of carrying a team through a playoff series when called upon. But he also has clear limits, as the Lakers' playoff run ended in the second round in a sweep at the hands of Oklahoma City, a series that wasn't close at all. So it's fair to say LeBron does need a genuinely talented roster around him to win it all, which is exactly where the questions surrounding Philadelphia start to grow louder. We can't ignore that Joel Embiid remains one of the biggest injury risks in the modern NBA. When healthy, he's still an all-NBA caliber center, no doubt about that, having averaged 24 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 4 assists per game in the playoffs, including a standout Game 7 performance that helped Philadelphia get past Boston. But Embiid was only available for 7 playoff games total, and he's played in just 38 games this season after appearing in only 39 in 2024 and 19 in 2025. Nobody can predict whether he stays healthy through a playoff run, and while it's promising that he's slimmed down, his knees have taken a long-term toll. It's unlikely Philadelphia wins a title without him on the floor, especially given how thin their backup center options currently look. But even if Embiid stays healthy, there's still the question of whether this roster has enough, and whether LeBron will genuinely accept being the 4th option on a championship-caliber team. This is where one of the more encouraging signs for Sixers fans comes in. LeBron's passing was elite last season. He's long been regarded as one of the best passers the league has ever seen, and in 2026, according to Cleaning the Glass data, he ranked in the 95th or higher percentile in both passer rating and shot creation percentage. So if he fully commits to a pass-first, defense-focused role, he genuinely slots into this roster well. That said, we can't overlook that LeBron still posted a 27% usage rate last season, good for 24th in the league, and higher than Austin Reeves. The real question is how comfortable he'll be deferring to players like Maxey and Brown. Speaking of Brown, he's taken a lot of criticism this offseason, partly for comments suggesting his favorite season was the one where he got the ball most and shot most, a season that actually ended in a first-round exit for Boston rather than their championship run, which raised eyebrows.
The analytics community has soured on him somewhat, with at least one team's front office reportedly viewing him as closer to a seventh-best player on a championship team-level talent, and reports have suggested some frustration around his perceived self-assuredness. But it's worth remembering that Brown was the 2024 Finals MVP, and even if you think Tatum deserved that honor instead, Brown still averaged over 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists a game that postseason, while playing lockdown defense. At minimum, he gives Philadelphia an all-star caliber player, possibly better, who already knows what it takes to win it all. And LeBron could end up being the key to keeping the locker room together, since it seems unlikely, though not impossible, that he and Brown clash, given LeBron's veteran presence. Still, the questions around this roster keep piling up. Right now, Philadelphia's overall regular season depth isn't great, though it's serviceable enough for a playoff run. One of the bigger storylines to watch is whether Tyrese Maxey can take another leap forward. At just 25, Maxey might be one of the most underrated players in the league, having earned third-team All-NBA honors while averaging 28.3 points, 6.6 assists, 4.1 rebounds, and 1.9 steals a game last season. Numbers like that would have won MVP outright back in 2005, though obviously scoring output across the league has climbed significantly since then. Maxey will only be 26 next season, still very much in his prime, but his playoff performance raised some concerns, particularly against the Knicks, where his scoring dropped to just over 18 points a game as Jalen Brunson dominated him, averaging 29 points a night as New York swept the series. Back in 2024 playoffs, though, Maxey looked completely different against New York, hitting huge clutch shots and nearly stealing that series before falling in 6 games, while averaging close to 30 points per game. If that version of Maxey shows up consistently, Philadelphia becomes genuinely dangerous. What's especially promising is his efficiency as a catch-and-shoot player. Even without Brown or LeBron on the roster last season, and with Embiid missing significant time, Maxey shot under half his threes off the catch, yet still connected on 41.7% of those catch-and-shoot attempts, meaning he's a rare scorer capable of both creating his own shot and thriving off the ball. There's no question that, if healthy and if the chemistry comes together, the Sixers will have serious offensive firepower, which raises the real question: do they have enough defense to actually win a championship? It's worth remembering Philadelphia has never even reached a conference finals during the Embiid era, meaning the process has technically fallen short of its ultimate goal so far. But LeBron gives this team its biggest possible swing at finally turning that narrative around and writing a genuine success story. And arguably, the team's biggest X factor on both ends of the floor will be VJ Edgecombe, who even before his rookie season made it clear exactly how he saw himself fitting into this roster.
Be an all-defensive team. You know they're going to think it's hard for a rookie, but I don't think it's going to be hard for me.
VJ just wrapped up an incredible rookie season for Philadelphia and looks like he could develop into an all-star caliber talent, or even better as his career progresses. In year 1, he averaged 16 points, 5.6 rebounds, 4.2 assists, and 1.4 steals a game, good enough for third in Rookie of the Year voting, behind Cooper Flagg and one other rookie standout. And when VJ is playing at his best, his ceiling is genuinely exciting. He opened his career with 34 points in his very first game, the most by a rookie in a debut since Wilt Chamberlain. In the playoffs, he showed he could rise to the moment when the pressure was highest, becoming the youngest rookie in NBA history to post a 30-point, 10-rebound game during Game 2 of the first round against Boston, a genuinely remarkable achievement. But with this much offensive firepower already on the roster, the real question for VJ heading forward is whether he can develop into the elite defensive presence he said he wants to become. He wasn't quite there defensively as a rookie. Cleaning the glass data shows his numbers were solid but not exceptional, ranking in the 74th percentile in deflections and 66th percentile in their defensive plus-minus metric. Still, the raw potential is clearly there, the mindset is there, and the opportunity is there too, since VJ will likely take on a smaller offensive role in year 2 with Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and the rest of Philadelphia's new additions now on the roster. And if there's one thing that's clear, it's that this season is shaping up to be championship or bust for the Sixers. Joel Embiid's health remains a major question mark. LeBron signed a 2-year deal but holds a player option that gives him an exit after just 1 season, and there's always the possibility he decides to retire afterward. The window for Philadelphia to win a title is right now. If LeBron fully commits to the system, if the chemistry comes together, and if the roster can stay healthy, this Sixers team will be extremely difficult for anyone in the league to beat. But there's no getting around the fact that those are a lot of ifs. And that's where we'll leave it. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, I think you'll enjoy the 2 videos on screen right now. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for the support. You're awesome, and you already know that.